guess what? We're doing yoga. And so this is a foundational or basic yoga postures class to get you started for when you next go to your yoga studio, or for the next class that comes up after this, which will be a yoga class. And so I'm Karen, a holistic psychotherapist, and I bring you videos on holistic well-being so that you can live your most optimal life. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be considering today is the breath. In yoga, we move with the breath. Generally, when we open our body, we inhale. When we close our body, we exhale. Same if we're doing an opening posture, we're inhaling. If we're closing our body, we exhale. And the breath that we try to have during yoga is the Ujjayi breath, which is an ocean sound. So it sounds like this. You do this by making it so you were fogging up a mirror, by closing or constricting the back of your throat a little bit, so like you were going, but with your mouth closed. So both on the inhale and the exhale, you are hawing or closing a little bit your throat. So you're going inhale, exhale. And when you do this for a long period of time or throughout your yoga practice, it is very, very soothing to the nervous system. So that's the first thing, is just to remember to breathe and to lengthen your breath during yoga postures. Not to hold your breath during yoga postures, but to allow yourself to breathe. Remembering to inhale as you're opening up your body. Exhale as you're closing your body. Okay, so that's the breath. The next is sort of the stance that we take in yoga. We generally put our heels together and our toes together. And so from the front it looks like this. And we internally rotate the thighs a little bit like this. That just gives us a good base, a good foundational base. It makes the four corners of our feet, from the like the palms of the foot and the heel of the foot, the four corners of each foot stable on the ground. So that's the first thing to remember. Internally rotate your thighs, but allow your toes and your heels to touch as much as you can. And this should be sort of in a relaxed posture, not a rigid posture. The second thing in this mountain pose is, in yoga, we tilt the pelvis forward. So we don't have an arch back, we tilt the pelvis forward and allow the sternum to go up towards the ceiling and shoulders back. So we round our shoulders back. And so let's just stand here in mountain pose for just a few breaths so that we get the feel for it. Feeling the earth beneath your feet. The four corners of your feet are planted on the floor. Gentle internal rotation of the thighs. Pelvis is tilted gently. Your sternum is up towards the sky and your shoulders are back. Let's just marry the breath, the Ujjayi breath, with the posture of mountain pose. Bring your hands to your heart. This is prayer posture, prayer pose. Again, bringing your palms together is very soothing to the central nervous system, so that's why we often do prayer pose in yoga. So this is mountain pose, prayer pose, a basic yoga pose. We haven't even moved yet. There is still already so much going on with our bodies. Our feet are firmly planted on the floor, our thighs are internally rotated just a little bit, our pelvis is tucked underneath, our sternum is up to the sky, and our shoulders are rolled back. Our chin is parallel to the ground. So this is before we even move. And so now I'll move you into, or I'll demonstrate to you the sun salutation. One round of the sun salutation without modifications, and then with modifications, and then I'll break down each posture as after that. And that's because in yoga, this is the main flow of yoga, and these are the foundational postures. We do downward facing dog, upward facing dog, chaturanga, and all that shebang in the sun salutation. So let's go, I'll just show you. So you walk towards the front of your mat. Toes are together, heels are together. Inhale with Ujjayi breath. And exhale, bending forward. Here we bend at the hips, not at the back. Try to keep your back flat. It's more important to keep the back flat. If you need to bend your knees, that's absolutely perfectly fine. You are in the posture. But it's more important to keep the back flat than to round the back in this instance. So bend the knees as much as you can, or as much as you need. We inhale, hands on the shins. And exhale as we close. First knee goes back into warrior one. We rise up. And into warrior two. Gazing over the middle finger over here. This is warrior two. And then we cartwheel our hands down into downward facing dog. Again, this is a very active posture, and I'll break it down in a minute. Walking your hands up. Flat back. If you need to bend the knees, go ahead. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, rise up. And exhale to the heart. So that was without modification. Then I'll just do one quick round with modification. So inhale. Exhale, bend your knees. Flat back, inhale. Exhale. And bring your right knee to the floor. Inhale. And exhale. This is called cat-cow, where your hands and your knees are on the ground. And now we'll do chaturanga, but it's called knees, hands, heart, because your knees, your hands, and your heart touch the ground, and then you go into your little upward facing dog or cobra without lifting your legs off the ground. Exhale into downward facing dog, and walk your hands up. Bending your knees if you need. Inhale. Exhale. And rise up. Hands to heart. That was with modifications. And so now I'll just break down a couple of the poses for you. And so inhale. Your pelvis is tilted under, your sternum is up towards the sky. And exhale. Bow down. Here you can straighten your knees if you can, only if your back is flat. If not, keep your knees bent, as so. Basically so that your belly is touching your thigh. And so let me show you the difference between warrior one and warrior two. Stepping your left foot back. Take as wide of a stance as you need for your ankle to be underneath your knee. This is actually warrior two, where our hips are facing the side wall over there. And you bend into the posture, trying to make your leg parallel to the ground, your thigh parallel to the ground, if it's available to you. Your shoulders are rolled back, your pelvis is tilted under, and you're gazing over the middle fingers of your right hand in this case. Your back leg is long and lean, and the four corners of your back foot are firmly planted on the ground. The difference with warrior one is that your hips are facing the front wall. So it's the same posture, except your foot internally rotates a little bit, and your hips are facing the front wall. Again, you bend your knee, your thigh as much parallel as you can. Your pelvis is tilted under, your back leg is long with your four corners of the foot firmly planted on the ground. Even the four corners of the front foot are firmly planted on the ground. You can actually lift up your toes. So this is warrior one. In downward facing dog, get on all fours where your hands are underneath your shoulders, your knees underneath your hips. You're going to plant your toes on the ground, and you're going to rise your butt up into the air. Toes are first pointed up into the air, and here in downward facing dog, eventually we lower our toes, our heels, but first we keep a deep V in our middle section. And by that, we try to keep our tummy on the top of our thighs. So again, we're protecting our back. If you feel ready, you can start lowering down, but make sure you keep a deep V in the hips, okay? So as much as you can, bring the heels towards the ground. And what do you do with your fingers over here and your arms? So you internally rotate the arms a little bit so the triceps come inwards a little bit. You rise out of the shoulders so you're not sinking into the shoulders. And the four corners of your palms are firmly planted on the ground. So this is downward facing dog. The modification is to stay on all fours. Now all of us are a little bit proportioned differently, and so some of our arms are longer, our legs are longer, so we might look very, very different in downward dog, and that's perfectly fine. As long as our weight is evenly distributed between our hands and our feet. So we're not more backwards, more forwards, we're really in the center. So this is downward facing dog, and it's actually a restorative posture. And now from down dog, we'll move into chaturanga. Without moving our hands and our feet, we come into a plank. So this is our correct position. Obviously, if you need to adjust a little bit, that's fine. Your hands are directly underneath your shoulders. Your pelvis is tilted under. Your sternum is looking up towards the front. And you bend at the knees, you bend at the elbows, but keeping your elbows tucked to your side. And you're not touching the floor. To come up, you don't touch your knees to the ground, you leave them up into the air and lay your feet flat on the floor. This is upward facing dog. So your knees, your thighs are engaged, your legs are long and engaged. And exhale, come back to downward facing dog. The modification for chaturanga is from your knees. We're going to do knees, chest, and hands posture, where you bring your chest to the ground, your chin is on the ground, and you gently move forward into a baby cobra. Here, you can actually lift your hands off of the floor, and we try to maintain the heels together in this posture. So that would be the modification. All right, so we have it. We are ready to do some yoga. Let's begin. Now let's try a sun salutation one more time, knowing a little bit more how to do the posture. So you bring yourself to the front of your mat, heels and toes touching, thighs internally rotating, pelvis tilted under, sternum and shoulders rolled back, inhaling up with Ujjayi breath, and exhale. Inhale, flat back. You can put your hands on your shins. And exhale, fold forward. Inhaling, open up into warrior one. And warrior two. Looking at your middle finger. This is called the drishti. It's actually very, very soothing to spend some time here. I love staying here for quite some time. So here your shoulders are rolled back, your hips are headlights towards the back wall. And cartwheel your hands down into downward facing dog. Inhale, exhale. On your next inhale, you come into plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Exhale, downward facing dog. And walk your hands back up. Inhale. And now let's do the other side with modifications. So we'll be doing it on the left side. So inhale. Although I don't think it will make much difference. Exhale. Inhale, your left foot back, knee on the ground, and bring your, leave your right foot forward. Inhale. This is warrior one version modified. And exhale, onto all fours. Palms underneath your shoulders. Exhale, chin and heart to the floor. And slide into an upward cobra, a little baby cobra. Again, you can not use your hands here. Exhale onto all fours. And downward facing dog. And walk your hands up to the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. And exhale. And rise up. Exhaling hands to heart. And there we go. Now we are ready to do a full class. Come join me.